Entomophthora muscae, the zombie fly maker. This fungus infects the common housefly, the same fly that lands on your food in the summer. The infection starts when a fly touches spores left behind by another dead fly. The spores penetrate through the exoskeleton, and once inside, the fungus does something clever. It grows as cells without cell walls, which makes it invisible to the fly's immune system. It hides in plain sight. Over the next 5 to 7 days, the fungus eats the fly's fat and organs from the inside, and the fly has no idea. It keeps flying, eating, landing on your food, completely normal, until the last day. In the late afternoon, the infected fly suddenly climbs to the highest point it can find, the top of a blade of grass, a window, a wall. It extends its mouth and glues itself to the surface. Then it raises its wings to a 90-degree angle and dies, frozen, like a statue. Within hours, spores burst out from between its body segments and shoot out in a white halo around the corpse. But here's the creepy part. The fungus produces chemicals that mimic the female fly's sex pheromones. Healthy male flies are attracted to the dead, fungus-covered female. They land on her, try to mate, and get covered in spores. The fungus turns dead flies into zombie love traps. And if this one operates in your kitchen, the next one is in your backyard, and it aims its spores like a biological missile. Pandora formicae, the sniper fungus. If you think mind-controlling fungi only exist in tropical jungles, think again. This one operates in ordinary forests. It infects wood ants, the common ants you see walking through forests everywhere. The spores land on the ant's body, penetrate the exoskeleton, and the fungus starts growing inside. After about 1 to 2 weeks, the manipulation begins. The infected ant leaves the safety of its colony and starts climbing. It climbs to the top of a blade of grass or a low plant near the nest, and it bites down, hard, locking its jaws onto the tip of the grass, and it dies right there. But the position is not random. The ant places itself directly above the trails where its nestmates walk every day. The fungus then erupts through the ant's body and starts raining spores down onto the ants below, like a biological bomb positioned with military precision. The timing is precise too. This always happens in the evening when humidity rises, which helps the spores survive longer in the air. A fungus that can make an ant climb to the perfect height, at the perfect time, above the perfect location, all to spread itself. Before the next one, which turns caterpillars into corpses worth more than gold, a quick pause. If you're enjoying the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and drop a hype on this video. It helps a lot with reaching more people who love this bizarre invisible world. Now back to it, because this next fungus has caused wars between villages. Ophiocordyceps sinensis, the gold caterpillar fungus. It infects caterpillars that live underground in the Tibetan Plateau, at altitudes between 3 and 5,000 meters. Ghost moth caterpillars spend years living in the soil, and at some point, they encounter fungal spores. The infection begins silently. The fungus colonizes the caterpillar's body from the inside, slowly replacing its organs with fungal tissue. In its final stage, the caterpillar does something unusual. It moves upward through the soil and positions itself vertically, with its head pointing up just below the surface. Normally, the caterpillar would stay deeper, but the fungus needs it closer to the surface. The caterpillar dies and becomes completely mummified, a rigid shell filled with fungal tissue. And then, in spring, a dark brown stalk grows out of the caterpillar's head and pushes through the soil surface. This stalk releases spores into the wind. Now here's what makes this fungus truly unique. It's worth more than gold, literally. High-quality specimens sell for over $20,000 per pound. It's the most expensive fungus in the world. In traditional Chinese and Tibetan medicine, it's been used for centuries as a vitality tonic. They call it winter worm, summer grass, because in winter, it looks like a worm, and in summer, it looks like a plant. Entire communities on the Tibetan Plateau depend on harvesting it. It has even caused territorial conflicts between villages. A fungus that turns a caterpillar into a mummy grows a stalk from its head and is worth more than gold. But if this one turns its host into treasure, the next one turns its host into a trap. Eryniopsis lampyridarum, the zombie seducer. It infects soldier beetles, those small golden beetles you see sitting on flowers in late summer. The beetle picks up spores while visiting flowers. The fungus grows inside the beetle for several days and then triggers a very specific sequence of behaviors. First, the infected beetle climbs to the top of a flower. Then it clamps its jaws shut, locking onto the flower, and then its wings open and stay open. The beetle dies frozen in a posture that looks like it's about to take flight, sitting on a bright yellow flower with wings spread wide. But the manipulation doesn't stop at death. The fungus produces chemicals that soften the dead female beetle's body, making her look plump and fresh, almost alive. And male beetles are attracted to her. They fly in, land on the corpse, and try to mate with it. And in doing so, they get completely covered in fungal spores. The fungus essentially creates a zombie corpse that seduces the living. It uses the beetle's own mating instincts against its entire species. A dead body on a flower, weaponized by a fungus, trapping males one by one. And if that sounds twisted, the next one goes even further. It doesn't just kill its host, it drugs it. Massospora cicadina, the drug dealer fungus. This might be the most disturbing fungus on this list, because it doesn't just control its host, it drugs it. It infects periodical cicadas, those insects that emerge from underground every 13 or 17 years. The cicadas encounter fungal spores in the soil during their years underground. When they finally emerge and become adults, the fungus activates. It starts eating the cicada from the inside, consuming its abdomen. Eventually, the entire rear section of the cicada's body falls off and is replaced by a chalky mass of fungal spores. The cicada is essentially a hollow shell packed with fungus. But here's where it gets truly bizarre. The cicada doesn't stop, it doesn't slow down, it becomes more active. It keeps flying, socializing, and attempting to mate, despite missing its entire rear end, despite having no reproductive organs left. Infected males even start mimicking female wing signals to attract other males, spreading spores to as many cicadas as possible. Scientists discovered that Massospora produces two mind-altering chemicals, cathinone, an amphetamine-like stimulant, and psilocybin, the same psychedelic compound found in magic mushrooms. The cicadas are literally high, drugged into becoming hyperactive disease spreaders while their bodies are being hollowed out. A fungus that amputates its host, drugs it with amphetamines and psychedelics, and turns it into an enthusiastic zombie. Researchers nicknamed infected cicadas flying salt shakers of death. And to close this list, we have the one you've probably heard of before. The fungus that inspired one of the biggest video games and TV shows of the decade. Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, the zombie ant fungus. The most famous mind-controlling fungus on the planet, the one that inspired The Last of Us. It infects carpenter ants in tropical forests, and what researchers discovered changes everything. The fungus does not infect the brain. It surrounds and penetrates the muscle fibers. Every muscle in the ant's body becomes wrapped in a network of fungal cells. The ant becomes a puppet. Its muscles are no longer its own. After about 2 to 3 weeks, the ant abandons its normal trail and descends to exactly 25 centimeters above the forest floor, a height where temperature and humidity are perfect for the fungus. Then it bites down on a leaf. The mandible muscles lock permanently. This is the famous death bite. The ant dies within hours, and a stalk grows from its head, releasing thousands of spores onto the forest floor, infecting new ants that pass by. And this has been happening for at least 48 million years. Scientists have found fossilized leaves with the same bite marks, 48 million years of zombie ants. If you enjoyed discovering these invisible puppeteers of the animal kingdom, leave a like, drop a hype, and subscribe to the channel, because every week there's a new video about the invisible world living all around us. And tell me in the comments, of all these 6, which one shocked you the most? See you in the next one.